Just how good is Olga? There are a couple of ways to put her in perspective. Currently, she holds 26 world records. She set 20 world records in a single year, 2009. She hits these totals in part by entering more events than anybody else, including a couple that nobody else in the world her age attempts. She will often do 6 throwing events, 3 sprints, and 3 jumps. At age 88, she considered adding the pole vault, but was deterred by practical considerations. "What do you do with the pole? Strap it to the roof of the car? Check it on to the plane?" she said. Track records at the elite level tend to fall by fingernail pairings of time and distance, fractions of seconds, portions of inches. At the 2009 World Masters Athletics Championships in Lahti, Finland, Olga threw a javelin almost 20 feet farther than her nearest rival. At the World Masters Games in Sydney, Australia in 2009, Olga's time in the 100-meter dash, 23.95 seconds, would have won the women's 80 to 84 division, 2 age brackets down. Olga stands 5 feet and a half an inch. She weighs 130 pounds. For her size, and this may be the most curious thing about her, she has extraordinary power. It can be surprising, after her slow-mo wind-up, to see how far the things she throws go. On the hammer throw pitch in Kamloops, she took her place with the other competitors. Big guys with leather gloves paced around, shaking their hands out. Olga removed her glasses. There was a sudden and brief sense of menace. When a little old lady starts swinging a 3-pound cannonball around her head, a good outcome is not guaranteed. But the thing sailed straight and true. "If I spun, I could throw it farther," Olga says. But after watching somebody very old fall that way, she has decided not to risk it. Olga got more leg into the second throw, but the trajectory wasn't what she liked. She made a little swan's head gesture with her hand to remind herself. Routinely, Olga performs better on every subsequent attempt as she recalibrates and tries again. It's like watching a marksman bracket the bullseye and then draw in. 12.72 meters, 13.37, 13.92. In 10 minutes, she added 4 feet of distance. "New world record," a disembodied voice said over the loudspeaker. There is a formula called age grading that's used to put the performances of older athletes in perspective. Age-graded scores tell us how impressed we should be by what a Masters athlete, placed in categories from ages 35 to 105, just did. A set of tables plots a given performance against the expected decline of the human body and expresses it as a percentage. So, theoretically, 100% is the high-water mark for a human being of that age. But a number of Olga's marks, in shot put, high jump, 100-meter dash, top 100%. In Sydney, she threw the shot put 5.6 meters, which age grades out at 119%. If you plug Olga's 23.95 100-meter dash time from Sydney into the tables, you find it's exactly equivalent to American Olympian Florence Griffith Joyner's prevailing, suspicious, and thought to be untouchable world record of 10.49 seconds. Remarkably, when you age grade, you find Olga is not only holding her own, but in some cases getting better, which suggests that either the tables are wonky or Olga is. Most likely, both are true. "She's throwing off the curve because she's doing things nobody's ever done," says Ken Stone, editor of MastersTrack.com, the watering hole of the Masters Track community. Its motto? Older, slower, lower. But at the same time, some recent performances speak for themselves. "I threw the hammer farther this year than I did 2 years ago," she mentioned recently, off-handedly. How do you explain that? No two ways about it. Olga is defying or rewriting our understanding of the retention of human physical capability. When people hear how old she is, they seem to look at her more deeply.